Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more WWE 2k16 Universe Mode. My name is BrendenPlayz. We're currently 3 weeks away from the Extreme Rules pay-per-view, and as you can see, last week on Monday Night Raw, in the first episode of the series, it was crazy. The draft went down, some big names coming to Raw, some big names going from Raw to SmackDown, so certainly if you did miss that one, go and check that out. Of course, we have the second episode of the series, which was the first episode of SmackDown, which was pretty damn good as well. Some big stuff went down on that show. So here is this week's show. We have Batista and Chris Jericho. It's official. They are now tag team partners. They're teaming up against the former tag team champions Tyson Kidd and Cesaro. Let's hope Batista doesn't get turned on this time, unlike Christian. So can Jericho be trusted? That's the big question. Sami Zayn goes one-on-one with Bad News Barrett. Nikki Bella one-on-one against our Divas champion Naomi. And as well as that, Dolph Ziggler. This is ridiculous. The Rock has put him in a 3-on-1 handicap match against Rusev, the man who attacked Dolph Ziggler last week, Ryback, and Seth Rollins. This is just ridiculous. I mean, how the hell is Dolph Ziggler going to survive this one? I have no idea. The Rock has really thrown everything but the kitchen sink at Ziggler. Primetime players are here on Raw. That's odd. They're from SmackDown. Titus O'Neil goes one-on-one with Victor from the Ascension. I don't know why the primetime players are here. I guess we'll find out later on, but Titus O'Neil and Darren Young here on Raw. They are still SmackDown superstars. They were not drafted, so we'll have to wait and see what exactly happened there, why they are on Raw. Daniel Bryan, he's here as well. I mean, everyone's here tonight. Jesus, Daniel Bryan's here. He's teaming up with Dean Ambrose to take on Sheamus and Roman Reigns. We know Bryan is out for some revenge after Sheamus attacked Daniel Bryan on the recent episode of SmackDown after Daniel Bryan's victory in the tag team match in the main event of SmackDown. So I guess Daniel Bryan's here to kind of return the favor, but Bryan is at least being a bit of a man about it. He's facing Sheamus head-to-head. He's not going to attack him from behind. So Bryan here to send a bit of a statement to Sheamus. Zayn versus Bad News Barrett is going to be Sami Zayn picking up the victory against Bad News Barrett. Bella versus Naomi. Naomi, our Divas champion, looking pretty good so far, picks up another win. Ziggler, there's no way he could do it. Surely not. He did it. How the hell does this man win? How the hell does he win that match? 3-on-1. How does he do that? This guy is a machine. This guy is just ridiculous. This guy is the real deal. How the hell does The Rock... Why doesn't The Rock believe in Ziggler? I don't know. Titus O'Neil picks up a win over Victor as well. And we'll go ahead and play our first match of the episode. Alrighty, so it's going to be tag team action. As we have the Animal Batista. For the first time, he is here on Raw as a full Raw superstar. Full-time Raw superstar. The Animal is here, and tonight he teams up with his good friend, Chris Jericho. Of course, you go back to WrestleMania, where Batista interfered in Chris Jericho's match, powerbombing Christian multiple times, allowing Jericho to pick up the win in that one. So Batista's going to earn the trust of Chris Jericho, so we'll see how these two guys fare as a tag team here tonight as they come up against former tag team champions Cesaro and Kidd. Batista, a former World Heavyweight Champion, looking to kind of revive his career here on the red brand. So here is his tag team partner. Here comes Chris Jericho. He is a former world champion as well, and a former tag team champion as well. Chris Jericho knows a thing or two about winning tag team titles, a multiple-time tag team champion here in Universe Mode. And tonight, he teams up with Batista, officially coming for those tag team titles. Jericho wants to win those titles against the Hall of Destruction, but first, he battles Cesaro and Kidd with Batista. So Jericho, the lights are out, the jacket is flashing, Jericho is ready to go. Chris Jericho, big match tonight. How will he fare with Batista? I guess that's the big million-dollar question. How will Batista and Jericho do as a tag team? So far, they've worked pretty well together, but I guess you can say, you know, now that they're in an official tag team, everything kind of changes. Now you really get to see how well these guys do fare as a tag team. And obviously, two big names coming from SmackDown to Raw, looking to take over Monday Night Raw themselves. But they have to get through these two, the former tag team champions, Cesaro and Tyson Kidd. Kidd and Cesaro, they lost the tag titles at WrestleMania, but nonetheless, they're still one of the top teams here on Raw. And they will have an opportunity for a rematch against Mark Henry and Kane, the Hall of Destruction, at some point with that rematch clause. But I suppose a victory here tonight will certainly give them some momentum, but a loss might just perhaps make The Rock think otherwise about giving them a rematch. So they need to make sure they keep on winning And now they have a new tag team here on Monday Night Raw to kind of deal with, and Batista and Jericho, then they really have some trouble. They've got their hands full right now. So I guess with Batista and Jericho, just before we get into the match, now that Batista and Jericho are a full-time tag team, let's try and think of some names. I want you guys in the comment section down below today, try and suggest some names for Batista and Chris Jericho. We've done this in the past. You know the drill. If you've got a cool name for Batista and Jericho, got any idea at all, anything, even if you think it's terrible, throw it at me, and I'll check it out, and I'll pick out the best names, and you guys can vote on the website, BrendenPlayz.com, to decide which tag team name you would like for this team. I think every team should have a bit of a tag team name. We don't have a tag team name really for Cesaro and Kidd, do we? But I guess they don't technically have one. But so we'll give one to Batista and Jericho. So it might be a bit hard to kind of think of one. I mean, I don't know. Batista and Jericho, is there really anything kind of matching between the two? I don't know. But anyways, it is Cesaro getting into the ring now. Of course, Tyson Kidd, what a performance he had at WrestleMania, trying to follow that up here tonight. He tags in his tag team partner Cesaro though, and this should be a good matchup. Batista and Cesaro, two men who can certainly do anything in the ring when it comes to power and strength. Cesaro may not look exactly the size of Batista, but I'm sure he can really match Batista's strength. And now Cesaro has a hold of Batista, and he takes him down. Oh, Batista nearly landing quite badly on his neck there. That's quite a dangerous position for Batista to be in as Cesaro continues to stomp away. Cesaro trying to gain momentum, but Batista takes him down. Batista's had some MMA training. We cannot forget about that. He's had some MMA training not too long ago, and since his time off, so Batista learning a thing or two about how to take down his opponents. So Batista, former world champion here, trying to kind of regroup and kind of rebuild his career. He's had a tough time on SmackDown, but now he has a chance here on Raw to kind of turn it all around. So we'll be back with Monday Night Raw and this tag team match after this. Vote on this year's Slammy Awards by visiting BrendenPlayz.com/forums and vote now to have your say on everything that's happened throughout the past year of Universe Mode, including Superstar of the Year, Pay-Per-View of the Year, and more. See the link in the description down below. Alrighty, we are back here on Raw, and yes, make sure you guys do go ahead and vote on those Slammy Awards. More will be uploaded throughout the week, and make sure you keep an eye on that one. So Batista right now has Cesaro in the corner, and he's going to stomp away. That first kick probably didn't really connect, but certainly the foot to the throat certainly did some damage there by the animal. So Jericho generally picks his partners pretty wisely. Every time he's kind of teamed up with someone, he's had success with... Oh, geez, he nearly got the pinfall there, Batista kicking out at 2. Of course, Christian and Jericho, former tag team champions on 2 occasions. And then, of course, Jericho teamed up with Bray Wyatt for a little bit of time there late last year before Jericho tried to focus on winning back his World Heavyweight Championship from CM Punk. Of course, Bray Wyatt and Jericho teamed up a little bit, and they were quite successful. Of course, at Survivor Series, when Bray Wyatt was on Team Jericho, they did on that occasion win that match. Now Cesaro, hold on a second, Cesaro has the arms of Batista. They're hooked. Look out, Cesaro off the top rope. And Batista in real trouble now. Chris Jericho nowhere to be found. Cesaro trying to win this matchup. Jericho's in the ring now, and he breaks it up just in the nick of time. Well, we couldn't see Jericho, but he got back in the ring quick enough to make sure that Batista was not going to lose that one there. Batista now looking for a suplex of his own. Cesaro with the counter. And there's a good counter there by Cesaro. Right hand there by the Swiss Superman as well. And Tyson Kidd wants to get himself involved. The referee's distracted. Batista's able to take advantage of that distraction. And now he has a hold of Cesaro. Look out, Cesaro. And, oh, running senton there by Batista. Alrighty, so Cesaro in some trouble. Batista, what's his next move? Perhaps a tag out, bringing in Chris Jericho. I mean, what a team Batista and Jericho is. Both former world champions. So much experience between the two. Jericho, 2-time tag champion. So much there to really work off. And Cesaro kicks out at 2. Oh, a possible pinning predicament. Not this time for Batista. He'll have to try again. Batista now picking Cesaro back up, but Cesaro has a counter for everything. That's what Cesaro is all about. You know, you can throw anything at Cesaro, but he finds a way to counter it and turn it into offense. Now Batista sent in the corner. Tyson Kidd is down. Cesaro couldn't go for the tag, and that may have cost Cesaro right there. Here we go. Batista taking advantage. Oh, what a suplex there by the animal. That was beautiful from Batista. And now Jericho looks as though he wants back in. He's going to come in now to pick up the scraps. The Enforcer, the Animal, has been unleashed on Cesaro. And now perhaps the mastermind between the two men, Chris Jericho, comes in to try and win this match for his team. But unfortunately, Jericho unable to keep the momentum. Now Cesaro has tagged in Tyson Kidd. Possible pinning predicament here. Not this time for Tyson Kidd. Not quite yet. And now, wait a minute. Tyson Kidd might be looking to fly here. Tyson Kidd on the top rope now. Here comes Tyson Kidd. And he... Oh, a codebreaker! You've got to be kidding me! A codebreaker by Jericho! Busting Tyson Kidd open! Batista coming! And it's over! You've got to be kidding me! Chris Jericho! Well, we've got to check that out again. That was unbelievable. Jericho hitting the codebreaker mid-air. Tyson Kidd was about to fly off the top. Jericho, codebreaker, and Batista came in and took out Cesaro for long enough to make sure that the 3 count happened. Wow, what a matchup between these two teams. And I cannot believe that Jericho hit that codebreaker. That was truly a thing of beauty. Unbelievable. You see, Jericho's down. He's down and out, and he gets back to his feet. Codebreaker, bang! It's over. Here comes Batista. Cesaro was a little bit slow to get in the ring. Batista attempted clothesline, got a little bit of Cesaro. It halted him for long enough to make sure that they got the 3 count. And their first night as a tag team here on Raw is successful. Chris Jericho and Batista have done it. What a win for these two men. And now Mark Henry and Kane has been put on notice. The tag team division, look out. These two men are 2 major players now. As now we get ready for this next matchup. It is going to be Daniel Bryan coming out here tonight to team up with Dean Ambrose, our world champion, with huge stakes on the line for Daniel Bryan. He wants to beat Sheamus, and of course Roman Reigns in there as well. Daniel Bryan coming out here tonight. He's going to address the situation between himself and Sheamus first. So we'll go ahead and see what Daniel Bryan has to say in a moment. But Daniel Bryan here tonight, of course, The Rock and Edge have been going back and forth all week on whether or not they want this match to happen at Extreme Rules or not. Of course, Edge wants it to happen. The Rock, not so much. So The Rock needs some convincing. Tonight, Daniel Bryan might give him the convincing that he needs. Daniel Bryan to come out and address the fans right now. First of all, yes, I know that I got drafted last week, and I know that I'm not a member of the Raw locker room anymore. But tonight, I asked permission from SmackDown GM Edge and the Raw General Manager The Rock to see if I was able to come here tonight to address this situation between Sheamus and I. And of course, I requested a match, and I requested a team up with Dean Ambrose to take on Sheamus and Roman Reigns, and The Rock thankfully agreed. Tonight, I get my hands on Sheamus. I'm not going to attack Sheamus from behind. I'm not the type of guy who's going to come in from the crowd and attack Sheamus when he's not looking. That's just not me. That's what Sheamus is all about. I'm a guy who's going to look you in the eye and tell you that I do not like you, and I'm going to kick you in the face while I'm doing that. I don't care if Sheamus is bigger than me. I know that I'm better than Sheamus. I know that Sheamus has the size, but Sheamus, he's just a little man in reality. And I know that at Extreme Rules, if this match does happen between Sheamus and I will kick his ass. There's no doubt about it in my mind. Sheamus, you may have been a world champion, you may have been a tag team champion, and yes, I may not have won all the gold in the world, but I've got the heart. And I know it deep down inside, you know that I can beat you. I will be at Extreme Rules, Sheamus, and I challenge you to a match at Extreme Rules one-on-one in an Extreme Rules match. Show the world how big of a man you really are. Take me on in a match that I know The Rock and Edge will try and sort out and make sure that this happens because it is best for business. And Sheamus, at Extreme Rules, you're not going to be walking out the same man. I'm going to make sure that this situation between you and I, it finishes for good. I don't like to leave my business unresolved. So at Extreme Rules, I'm going to finish the situation. Well, Daniel Bryan sending a message to Sheamus as his tag team partner comes out to the ring now. the WWE Champion, Dean Ambrose, coming out here tonight to team up with Daniel Bryan to take on Roman Reigns and Sheamus. Of course, last week on Monday Night Raw, it was Roman Reigns who speared the living hell out of Dean Ambrose after their match. Ambrose out for a little bit of revenge here tonight as well. And here comes the man that Daniel Bryan has been waiting to get his hands on ever since SmackDown. He couldn't wait for Thursday. He had to come here tonight to meet this man in tag team action. There he is, the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus. And of course, the devastating attack. It was absolutely brutal, the assault on Daniel Bryan on SmackDown. Sheamus sending a huge message to everyone that he is not to be messed with. So many of us might believe that Daniel Bryan is making a huge mistake after what Sheamus did with that kendo stick and the bro kicks and the high cross as well. Sheamus is a man not to be messed with, in my personal opinion, because I think Daniel Bryan challenging Sheamus to a match is only going to anger the Celtic Warrior and make things worse. Here comes Sheamus' tag team partner, the former WWE Champion, the man who lost the championship at WrestleMania. His name is Roman Reigns. And tonight, Dean Ambrose is looking to get his hands on this man after the devastating spear that left Dean Ambrose laid out last week. Now, what will happen between these two men? And I'm sure it's going to absolutely implode here tonight. Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. It's still not official yet. We're still not exactly sure what the main event of Extreme Rules will be for Monday Night Raw. Whether or not Dean Ambrose will go one-on-one with Roman Reigns, or whether it will be a triple threat matchup with Dolph Ziggler added into the mix as well. I'm not exactly sure what is going to happen there. All I know is tonight, Daniel Bryan and Sheamus are going to kick this one off. Here we go. These two men will finally get their hands on one another. And Bryan with a big kick to Sheamus straight away and grabs a hold of him. And now lifts him up. Hits a suplex to kick this one off. And oh, wait a minute. He's got the arm of Sheamus. And Sheamus. Oh, the counter. Sheamus a big counter there. And almost getting caught there by Daniel Bryan early on with a potential tap out straight away. Bryan, he's ready to go here tonight. He wants Sheamus. And he wants to spill the blood of the Celtic Warrior and make sure he pays for what he did to Bryan last week. And now, Daniel Bryan sends down Sheamus. So Bryan, a hot start from him. And he's going to tag in Dean Ambrose. So perhaps he'll kick it off that way. I'll start good. And when perhaps things might go sour for me, I'll get out before they do. So now Dean Ambrose, our champion, is in this matchup. Big victory last week against Kevin Owens in the steel cage match. That was a huge win for Dean Ambrose. He's been struggling here on Raw. He needed that victory so badly. And thankfully, he managed to pick up a monstrous win to give him a lot of momentum. But of course, Roman Reigns spoiling the party by hitting the spear on Ambrose post-matchup. So now, Ambrose and Reigns, you think they're going to meet at some capacity in the near future. Reigns has a title rematch clause that he wants to invoke at Extreme Rules. So I guess Ambrose and Reigns will meet at Extreme Rules. It just matters. Well, I guess the only factor is, will Dolph Ziggler be thrown into the mix? Of course, he is the rightful #1 contender. But many believe that The Rock is not going to give him the match no matter what. So unless the board of directors kind of gets themselves involved, I mean, I don't know. I think Dolph Ziggler might miss out of a title shot despite earning it fair and square. Reigns and Ambrose right now. It's Roman Reigns has a hold of Ambrose, takes him down with a scoop slam. And Reigns following it up with a stomp as well. And again. So Reigns, he's happy to brawl around with Dean Ambrose, no worries. So an Extreme Rules match at the pay-per-view would certainly suit Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose, two men who love to fight and have a lot of bad blood against one another. They'd be more than happy to spill that blood, just like we talked about with Sheamus and Daniel Bryan. Reigns and Ambrose are more than happy to do exactly the same. Sheamus in the matchup now. He has a hold of Dean Ambrose. And, Ambrose sending down Sheamus with a shoulder tackle there. And now perhaps Daniel Bryan. He comes in now. Bryan and Sheamus again. They'll meet now again. Bryan once again has a hold of Sheamus. Sheamus in trouble against the ropes. Daniel Bryan now. Sheamus, in trouble. Oh, Sheamus getting out of the way with a reversal and hits a suplex. And that may just change the course of this one. Just when you thought Daniel Bryan was in complete control of Sheamus, Sheamus hits back with a huge move, and now Sheamus looking the goods. Sheamus now sending Bryan in the corner. You know Sheamus will want to get his hands on Bryan as much as possible. Sheamus has been attacking Bryan from behind on numerous occasions. And this one all really kind of started because of Daniel Bryan. You know, Daniel Bryan with a post-match attack on Sheamus. And, of course, Sheamus' head was against the steel ring post. And Daniel Bryan came along and kicked Sheamus' head right into the post, doing huge damage. Sheamus suffered a concussion because of it. And then, of course, Sheamus stole the WrestleMania match away from Daniel Bryan. And everything's kind of been just exploding ever since. These two men just desperately want to get their hands on one another. They didn't have a match at WrestleMania, but that doesn't worry them. They want to have that one-on-one matchup at Extreme Rules. Daniel Bryan, he tags in Dean Ambrose again. Some frequent tags between Ambrose and Bryan. Good to see from those two. Oh, Sheamus tried to pick Ambrose up. Gets countered now. And Dean Ambrose with a massive counter there, sending down Sheamus. Ambrose would love a victory over Sheamus as well to keep his momentum going. And now, here we go. A submission hold is applied. Sheamus countering the submission. It's a nice counter there by Sheamus. He had to do that one because if he stays in that submission for long, we've seen Ambrose win many matches with submission holds. That could have been the end of Sheamus. Uh-oh, look out. Dean Ambrose is setting up Sheamus for something big here. Look out, Sheamus. Hooks the arms and the Dirty Deeds. Dirty Deeds to Sheamus. The hook of the leg. The cover. 2. And Sheamus has kicked out. How the hell did he do that? Sheamus getting the shoulder up. Staying in this matchup. I thought for sure that would be it. And now Sheamus kicking Dean Ambrose away. Sheamus has to get the tag in. And he does. In comes Roman Reigns. The newest Paul Heyman guy. Reigns now against the ropes. Dean Ambrose. Big back body drop down goes Roman Reigns. So the tag in. Doesn't matter. Ambrose continues going here. And it's on the man that he wanted as well. Roman Reigns. Some big right hands there to Reigns now by Dean Ambrose. Our WWE champion. What's Ambrose thinking about doing now? Rolled Reigns over. Didn't quite do anything with it. Couldn't take advantage. Uh-oh. Ambrose trying to go from behind. Reigns scouting it out with the counter. And now Reigns has a hold of Ambrose and a belly to belly. Well, that's a beautiful move there. And now this could be it. Ambrose kicks out again. Not yet for Roman Reigns. Not tonight, says Dean Ambrose. Reigns getting frustrated perhaps. He wants to beat Dean Ambrose. He wants that title back so desperately. Reigns had a huge week last week, beating Brock Lesnar, laying out Dean Ambrose. Roman Reigns is really showing to us why he won that championship in the first place, and he wants it back. Dean Ambrose now back to his feet. And uh-oh, hold on a second. Reigns, taken down by Dean Ambrose with a DDT. And now Ambrose is going to make the tag. In comes Daniel Bryan now. SmackDown's Daniel Bryan. What a night for Daniel Bryan. I mean, an opportunity to be here on Raw, perhaps for the last time, to try and leave Monday Night Raw on a high note. And now, Bryan gets Roman Reigns back to his feet. And a kick there. And another kick. Daniel Bryan heating up now. These kicks. Look out, Reigns. He's in some trouble. And uh-oh, here comes the big one. Oh, there it is. Right on the jaw of Roman Reigns. And now Bryan trying to win this match. And Reigns powers out at 2. Daniel Bryan couldn't put this one away just quite yet. Couldn't pin the former WWE champion Roman Reigns. And now Reigns back to his feet. Shot to the midsection of Bryan. Reigns will not want to lose to Daniel Bryan, that's for sure. He'll want to make sure that Bryan leaves Raw tonight with a loss next to his name. And leaves Monday Night Raw for good, perhaps, with a loss. And now, Bryan taken down there by Reigns. Uh-oh. Reigns tossed away. Fall away slam into the corner there by Roman Reigns. And we know what's coming next. Don't get up, Bryan. You're not going to like the view. Here comes Roman Reigns setting Bryan up. Here he comes. The spear. Thunderous spear on Daniel Bryan by Roman Reigns. If he can get to the cover, it's going to be over. It's going to be it. And Daniel Bryan using the ropes to escape it and survives somehow, some way. Bryan still in this matchup. Desperation by Daniel Bryan. That spear could be heard around the world. That was a fantastic spear by Roman Reigns, but still not enough to put Daniel Bryan away, who's still fighting, and now he's looking for the yes lock. He's got it locked in. Sheamus in real trouble. The yes lock, it's in. Sheamus, though, needs to get to the ropes. And Bryan may have been losing grip on the hold, and he's going to try and look for the tag out. In comes Ambrose now. So Bryan had that match won, perhaps, but obviously the huge frame of Sheamus perhaps making it more difficult for Bryan to make the hold stay locked in. Now, Ambrose taken down by the Celtic Warrior. Sheamus, oh, taken down nearly off his feet there by our champion Ambrose. Ambrose now, hold a second, oh, dirty deeds again! And that is straight head first, planted into the mat, and that's going to be it. That's all she wrote. It's not just quite yet. Sheamus somehow, how is he kicking out? Sheamus still in it. Keeps this match alive for his team. And now Ambrose has the legs. And now it's locked in. It's locked in. Sheamus will he tap out? Will Sheamus tap? No, he didn't. Didn't quite get him yet. Sheamus is still in the matchup. Ambrose getting Sheamus back to his feet now. And here we go. Neckbreaker there by Dean Ambrose. And hold on a second. Ambrose signifying that this could be the end of Sheamus. Here comes Ambrose. Went for the big kick, but he missed. Sheamus dodging and evading, getting out of the way of that one. That could have been the end of it. And now, hold on a second. Here we go with a powerbomb. Bridges. Here we go. Shoulders down on Sheamus. 2. He got it. Ambrose got it. Ambrose wins. Daniel Bryan and Ambrose win. Well, after taking an absolute beating, Ambrose hit the powerbomb, bridged over, the shoulders were down, the pressure on the neck, so difficult to kick out of that situation, and the extra weight on Sheamus by Dean Ambrose did the trick. He was the dirty deeds earlier on. We thought it was over right then, but Sheamus powered out, and it didn't really matter in the end though. Dean Ambrose got his man, and Sheamus and Roman Reigns have lost this matchup tonight. Ambrose and Bryan picking up a much needed victory to boost their confidence. And will we see Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns at Extreme Rules? Perhaps. And the question goes as well, exactly the same for Sheamus and Daniel Bryan. Will we see Sheamus and Daniel Bryan at Extreme Rules? Let me know in the comment section down below if you do want to see those matches take place. And let me know all your thoughts and opinions on today's episode, of course. Guys, make sure you smash the like button as well and subscribe to see more Universe Mode content coming your way in the future. And there it was, that big kick there by Bryan on Reigns. That was not enough to put Reigns away in the end. And, of course, it was Dean Ambrose coming in, picking up the pieces. Sheamus was trying to come after Dean Ambrose here. Ambrose grabbed a hold of him, picks him up for the powerbomb, and boom, there it is. Big victory for these two men. And tonight, Ambrose and Daniel Bryan, they reign supreme here against Roman Reigns and Sheamus. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Of course, make sure you check out the Slammy Awards voting thread as well. Go leave your vote on all these Slammy Awards. More votes will be up during the week. Check out the website as well. I've been uploading a few articles on the website. Keep an eye out for that, and I'll be updating all the website throughout the week. So make sure you keep an eye on that one. Guys, thanks so much for watching. See you next time.